Well, sometimes people have to be responsible, not only for their domesticated animals, but for other animals as well. After all, terrible things happen to them too, and they need our help. But the way these animals ask people for help will break your heart. A great white shark got stranded on a beach and never could have saved itself, but about 100 tourists came together to do the job. It's a great example of how we can make miracles happen when we work together. A young guy plans to celebrate his 21st birthday by hitting the slopes for some snowboarding fun. Little did he know that his day would take a surprising turn when he found himself saving the life of a horse. Talk about an unexpected twist to a birthday adventure. The monkey's heart stopped because of an electric shock. However, some compassionate people didn't give up. They spent over 15 minutes trying to bring it back to life, just like they would for a human, and guess what? Now, it's on its way home. This seagull found itself tangled in a hook, helpless and unable to move. Fortunately, these kind-hearted men arrived just in time to rescue the distressed bird. With care and precision, they conducted a full surgical procedure, ensuring the bird's chance to live again. This raven had been drifting along with the current for quite some time, utterly exhausted when people finally spotted it. They extended their helping hands, pulling it out of the water and giving their all to revive its ability to soar once more. He flew away and it didn't make it in the water. What a kind man he is. A thirsty camel collapsed by the roadside in the Algerian desert, its last hope resting on humans. Luckily, help arrived just in time. A tiny shark got stuck among the rocks and might never have reunited with its family if it weren't for some surfers. They attempted to guide the young creature into deeper waters, but they soon realized they needed to take further action to ensure its safe return home. A huge whale shark was swimming around these divers' boat, begging for help. Its head had gotten tangled up in some rope, preventing it from breathing properly. Fortunately, these guys certainly aren't cowards and helped the sea creature. Two deer engaged in a fierce battle, clashing their antlers during the rut. Rescuers stood by, unable to intervene until the deer had exhausted themselves. It seems like they've finally reached a point where they no longer wish to fight. This person discovered a distressed squirrel in their pool and swiftly initiated CPR. Miraculously, it worked. Watch as the squirrel stays a bit longer, expressing gratitude to its rescuer. A cougar appears to be caught in a trap, but it still has enough fight in it to deal with the two men who decided to help. All these folks got wind of a snake trapped in the well and rushed to help. This brave soul is risking it all, dangling midair, attempting to nab the furious cobra. No one paid attention to this tiny baby hedgehog dying of thirst. No one, except for this kind man who cared. A poor monkey tried to escape after a brutal attack by some dogs, and this taxi driver realizes that it's in critical condition. Look at how he saves its life, like he would a human child. It will never forget his kindness. This leopard got tangled up in some wire, and every movement caused it immense pain. People had to sedate the animal in order to execute their rescue operation. Now, it can receive proper treatment in a rehabilitation center. For 3 whole days, this poor young elephant had to stand to keep from drowning. People couldn't pull it from above nor push it from below. Miraculously, they managed to find an excavator to help the poor animal get out. This huge elk got stuck in a swamp and barely had the strength to keep its head above the surface. It took 5 people to get it out of danger. Look at how exhausted it is. An unfortunate elk tumbled down a hill onto the ice and faced certain doom if it weren't for the heroic, movie-worthy rescue operation launched by people. In Russia, some orcas became trapped in ice, and they had no choice but to beg for help from human rescuers. Rescuers had to manually disperse huge chunks of ice. The mission is successful and all 4 orcas are rescued. Look at this brave man swimming across a fast-moving river to save a young deer from drowning. The poor thing wasn't even breathing and had to be resuscitated. We don't know how this duck family ended up on this highway, but we know for sure that they all would have been crushed if not for these bikers. They tried to escort the birds across the road, but it turned out to be too scary for them. Then they had to catch the ducklings with their bare hands, which is why the mother duck flew away in despair. The bikers' only hope was that the entire highway would come to a stop for their rescue mission, and every driver stopped. The family is reunited and safe. The firefighter never imagined finding a baby kangaroo alive in the midst of the forest fire. Just a few moments longer, and the flames would have claimed its life. Now, the little one is safe in caring hands and has been given a name. This dog was meant to become a feast for a gigantic snake, but 3 courageous children refused to bid farewell to their beloved pet. This tiny bird found itself stuck in a shop window with no hope of getting out. But these amazing guys managed to get permission from the shop owners to remove part of the wall and rescue it. This family could have just walked past a duck frozen to the ice, but instead they pounded at the ice with their bare hands until they freed the poor thing. "Oh my god, this parrot has lost its beak, which means it doesn't have long to live," but this doctor custom made a plastic beak for the bird, giving it a second life. This squirrel should have passed away after getting electrocuted, but this man saw the creature as a fellow soul and began trying to save its life. Even resorting to mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And it was worth all the effort. This hawk became severely dehydrated in the scorching 50 degrees Celsius heat, causing it to lose its way in the air. However, its plight led it directly to people.